All right, and joining us now, our political analyst, Senator Bob McKnight. And thank you so much for being with us on this important day.
Yes.
All right, Senator, we want to first point out that it had been some time since anyone really had mentioned the name Osama bin Laden, right? It had been a while.
Yeah.
Of course, no one ever forgets what happened, but those 9/11 attacks, they were nearly a decade ago.
That's right.
Until last Wednesday. You and I had a discussion, and we were talking about the president's job performance, and if we could, I just want to play a brief clip of that conversation. Do you think he stands with the election? Is he reelectable?
I think he's going to have a difficult time. I think if you were to kind of speculate and say, well, gee, where could he make an end run? Where could he pull something out? A name we haven't heard for a while, bin Laden. I think if bin Laden were killed or found, I think that would really make a difference.
The insight that you give us every week is so profound, but in this case, it really was quite the prediction there. Tell us a little bit about why you thought that, and where do we stand now politically for President Obama?
Well, I certainly had no kind of indication or otherwise, but it has occurred to me on a number of occasions that the country still feels very, very deeply about that, and obviously we all celebrate that that chapter now is behind us. I think it'll help the president, but I don't think it'll really carry forward per se into next year's election. I was really making reference to it last week as if it were juxtaposed more closely to the election. But I think the focus now, probably with regard to Obama's election, is to ensure that there is proper dignity, but at the same time a strategic, firm message about the protection of the interests of this country.
Well, who are the winners politically with this announcement?
Well, I think once again our men and women that have served, and I'm personally proud as I can be to have been a member of the armed forces as well, but I think they've demonstrated their tenacity, their determination. This was not an easy kill. Clearly he was not only protected and had extraordinary resources behind it, but we've had a couple of near shots at him as well. So I think the country can be continually proud of our armed forces. I think both President Bush and President Obama deserve credit. I think they were both determined. They had resolve, and I think, again, the message the President sent today is justice was carried out, and we believe in that, and I think it's important it was done.
Today, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton noted that bin Laden's death comes at a time of, quote, great movements toward freedom and democracy. Could we see any other impacts across the nation now?
Well, interesting question. I think as we look around the Middle East particularly, and we see this fervor of information, transparency. Some would say it's attributable, at least to some extent, to the social media. I'm not sure, but I think the consistent message throughout that we as a country support freedom, support the opportunity for people to live their lives in a peaceful existence, I think it's coming through more clearly and louder than ever, and I think that's a positive message. And I might add in, on both sides of the aisle, if there was ever a time for bipartisan,
it's right now.
It really is right now.
All right. Senator Bob McKnight, thanks so much for being with us.
Ann.
And we will have the senator back with us tonight on ABC 27 News at 5.